Have you ever been in a situation where a whole bunch of people was in a room, everybody was saying their names and you're trying to remember them. And more often than not, you don't remember the people's names that just spoke right before it's your turn to say? Well, that is today's topic on Unlocking the Mind. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking Mind, we talk about another cognitive bias, and the reason why I have this show is so that we can better understand how our minds work, make better decisions, build stronger relationships, and of course, avoid certain cognitive traps. So for today's cognitive bias, we're going to be talking about the next in line effect. So what exactly is that? That is when people's ability to remember or recall information is actually not as good with regards to events that's happened right before it's their turn to perform. So when I asked you about that networking event where a whole bunch of people are saying their names and it's your turn to say your name, and all of a sudden you go, wait a minute, I forgot the person who said their name right before me. Well, that's exactly what the next line effect is. When we're talking about experiments that was done before, to see how this is actually the case, Malcolm Brenner in 1973 had a whole bunch of people sit in a circle and they all said a word. So you kind of go in clockwise formation, and one person says one word and the next person, the next person, the next person, the next person. And once you get up to about 25, 30 words or so, the question was asked, okay, now recite or try to recall the words that were spoken before you. And more likely than not, the people who were able to recite or recall information that was of all the words before them were words that's prior to 9 seconds right before they spoke. All the information within the 9 seconds before they spoke are more likely than not forgotten. And the reason why is because all that information within those 9 seconds don't even get a chance to fall into your long-term memory bank. And that's why it's easier to forget them. So therefore, because of the words that are spoken way before you have more attention, you were able to remember them better because it's kind of gets stored into your long-term memory bank. Now, the funny thing is, if they were to say, hey, we're going to put you in this room, you're going to sit in a circle, I want you to repeat all the words and make sure that you remember the ones right before you, then more likely than not, there's an overcompensation where everybody kind of forgets the stuff at the beginning and remembers specifically the people who spoke the words right before them. And therefore, the next in line effect actually has a reverse effect if you actually tell them beforehand. So that is the next in line effect. How does that work for us? Well, when it comes to us delivering information, we want to make sure that we give good information at the beginning and repeat it over and over again so that it does fall into their memory banks. Now, the thing is, if we're giving out a list and we're leaving the most important stuff at the bottom, we want to specify that the most important stuff is at the bottom so that people remember that stuff even more and put more focus on it so that they don't fall prey to the next in line effect. So that is the next in line effect. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please go back and watch some of my other episodes on Unlocking Mind. And if you like Unlocking Mind, we have a lot of other shows, the Peak Potential Success Show, the Make More Mind Bites, and of course, the Mastermind Bites that's up every single week. Thank you very much for your time, your support, your likes, your comments, and your subscriptions. I love seeing those comments. And until next time, today is the day to lock your peak potential. I'll see you later.